Uh, Welcome back to session. I'm sharing my screen. Once you're able to see, just let me know. Okay. Are you able to see the presentation? Yeah. Okay. So as I mentioned, for this Rajiv Gandhi, he should be enrolled at least 2 and more than years so that you are eligible to avail this benefit. If you get this benefit, okay. Yeah. Come to last slide. And there are Atal BMIT Vakti Kalyan Yojana also. Voice is very low. What about others? Others are able to hear me properly. What about others? Okay, Sanjeev, can you please rejoin? Maybe network issue. I think others are able to hear me properly. Okay. Yeah. In this uh, Atal BMIT uh, uh, Vayaktik Kalyan Yoshan ABBKKY. So here the incentive is to employees in the private sector for providing regular employment to the persons which is disability. The minimum wage limit for physical disabled persons for availing ESI benefit is 25,000 as we see. This is the benefit actually. Employee contribution is paid by the central government for 3 years. And if you see the benefits of this contribution, an interesting feature of ESI scheme is that the contributions are related to the paying capacity as a fixed percentage of workers' wages. There, whereas a provided social security benefits according to the individual needs without distinction. Cash benefits are distributed by the corporation through the branch offices and pay offices subjected to the certain contributory conditions. So this is the benefit which is applicable for the disabled, okay, disabled people. Fine. This is all about ESIC. Okay. So mostly in this, they will ask you to write what is mean by ESIC Act and also write down the benefits which you will get from this ESIC scheme. Now we'll get into other topic. Let me see that file. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can drop in chat box. And I'm sharing. Yeah. So yesterday we have discussed about the Boiler Act. So today we are going to see the specific rules with respect to this boilers. Okay. So here we have to see the boiler attendant, which means the competent person who is attending the boiler, means a person granted a certificate of competency as a boiler attendant of class under these rules. As we see yesterday, this state government will make rules with respect to the competency of the uh, operators and the attendees, etc. Okay, that is the one. So if you see a person holding the boiler attendance certificate to be in charge of boiler, the owner of a single boiler or two or more boilers connecting in a battery or many separate industrial boilers should have a boiler attendant as mentioned in the rule 23. In addition to such number of boiler attendants as may be specified by the chief inspector and also director of boilers. If you have multiple boilers, then the chief inspector will decide how many boiler operators should be there. It is not that, okay, for all three boilers, I'll keep one boiler operator, which it is not going to work out. Okay, we have to get the confirmation from the chief inspector of boiler. Next rule is competent person shall possess a certificate and also extent of qualification. So he has to get the certificate. No person who does not possess a certificate of competency as a boiler attendant under these rules shall be deemed a fit and also a proper person to hold charge of the boiler. So until unless you are not getting any competent person certificate from the chief inspector of boiler, you are not supposed to attend the boiler. Okay. Then production certificate. So for the production certificate, the boiler attendant holding a certificate of competency under these rules shall or at all reasonable times during the period any boiler is in the charge or attendance be bound to produce such certificates when called upon by any person empowered by under section 15. As we seen yesterday also in the act also there is a production of certificate. Any authorized persons or deputy chief inspector or inspector who is asked to submit the certificate, they are supposed to produce the certificate to that people. Owner to furnish chief inspector or director of boiler with the particulars of certificate. So what kind of information he has to submit as a owner? The owner of a boiler who engages any person to be in charge, therefore all within 7 days of such engagement furnishes to the chief inspector or director of a boiler with a full particulars of such person, including the serial number, date, and also place of issue of his certificate. And also the owner of the boiler who engages any person to hold the charge of such a boiler in the event of such operation, leaving his employment, or in the event death of such person, report that fact within 7 days to the chief inspector. So if you hire any new persons or if the existing person is leaving the organization, the boiler operators, we have to inform to the chief inspector of boiler. Okay, that is the rule. Then limits of daily period of attendance, relief, and also a spare of action. So in person of the boiler shall be deemed to be in direct and immediate charge of the same when he is within 10 meters of such boiler. He has to be within 10 meters nearby. A person in charge of the boiler or boilers for the certificate of competency is required under the rules may be relieved of charge in any one day for not more than 2 periods in which a combined or do not exceed 2 hours in duration. Any person is holding first class certificate of the competency as an attendant. Then also the holder of first class certificate of the competency boiler attendant may also within the consent in writing to the chief inspector or director of the boiler relieve a person holding a certificate of proficiency as a boiler operation engineer for a period which may extend to 10 consecutive days, which is in the special circumstances. The chief inspector or inspector of boiler may extend to the length of time not exceeding 30 days at a time. It is about the daily period of attendance and also relief or spare hours. It is not applicable to us. Board of examiner. Yes, we have to see. What are the functions of the board? One is functions means almost like in a duties of this board. I mean the boilers, inspectors. What is their duties? Okay. One is conduct examination and also particular test of the candidates for the grant of certificates of competence of the boiler attendant, class 1 and class 2. So class 1, class 2 are the levels of the certification. Class 1 is a bit higher one, and then class 2. And have a power to appoint any person as a paper setter and also examiner at the any examination. Then grant certificate of competency to the boiler attendant, class 1 and 2, and consider the reports of inquiries into allegation of drunkenness, negligence of duty, or misconduct on part of a boiler attendant. Okay, these are the major functions. So power of refuse already we have seen. So in case of any uh, uh, board may directly any candidate who is in opinion of on the majority of the members appears to hold or physical unfit through the deformity and also the constitutional weakness, defective eyesight, and also deafness or loss or limb or any perform inefficiently the duties of boiler attendant to produce a certificate of fitness from the registered medical practitioner. If, however, the candidate fails to produce a certificate of physical fitness, the board shall have power to refuse to issue the certificate of competency to the boiler attendant. So he has to give the physical fitness certificate to get the boiler certificate, I mean attendance certificate, either class 1 or class 2. Then examination fees. So for examination fees for the for this boiler attendance, sitting fee for non-official board members for board meeting is 500. Fee for examination of each candidate first class boiler is 20, and fee for examination of second class boiler is 10. This is just for a general notice. It is not required again. Classification of capacity certificates. Application. This is small. Yeah, eligibility criteria. This is informative. So if you see age and qualification experience of any second class boiler attendee, a candidate of certificate of competency as a boiler attendant, a second class shall not be less than 18 years of age and shall not be admitted to the examination unless he has passed his matriculation or equivalent examination from a recognized institution, I think +2, and has served for not less than 2 years in a capacity of fireman or operator or any assistant fireman or assistant operator of a steam boiler, or has served for not less than 3 years as a fitter where the boiler or manufactured or erected or operated or repaired. That is the one. Then must have served for not less than 2 years on small industrial boilers in the case of any industrial training institutes or certificate holder. So these are the qualifications. At least you should have matriculation or equivalent educational qualification, minimum 3 years of experience, or he would have worked in any foreman level or any operator level in a steam boiler, or he would have done any training in the any boiler building section. Okay, then he is eligible for that. So ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఆయన మినిమం క్వాలిఫికేషన్ ఇంటర్ లేదంటే దానికి ఈక్వల్ గా ఉన్న క్వాలిఫికేషన్ చదువు ఉండాలి. దాంతో పాటుగా ఏదైనా బాయిలర్ లేదంటే ఉన్న కంపెనీలలో ఆయన పనిచేసి ఉండాలి. ఏ పొజిషన్లో ఫైర్మెన్గా కానీ లేదంటే ఆపరేటర్గా కానీ అసిస్టెంట్ ఫైర్మెన్గా కానీ పనిచేసి ఉండాలి ఏదైనా స్టీమ్ బాయిలర్ దగ్గర, లేదా ఏదైనా కంపెనీలో ఫిట్టర్గా అయినా 3 years అయినా పనిచేసి ఉండాలి. ఎక్కడైతే ఈ బాయిలర్స్ తయారు చేస్తారో వాటిల్లో అక్కడ ఏమన్నా పనిచేసి ఉంటే ఈయన సెకండ్ క్లాస్ బాయిలర్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్కి అర్హుడు అవుతాడు. Then if you see first class boiler, a candidate certificate competency a candidate for a certificate of competency as a boiler, first class boiler shall not be less than 21 years of age, and he possesses a certificate of second class and shall not be admitted to the examination unless he has served not less than 2 years. First class boiler అయితే minimum 21 years ఉండాలి. At least వచ్చేసి 2 years as a boiler attendant with a second class certificate of competency. So initially he has to get the second class certificate. Over that he can apply for first class. అంటే ఫస్ట్ మనం సెకండ్ క్లాస్కి అప్లై చేస్తాము. అది వచ్చిన తర్వాత మనం ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్కి అప్లై చేసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, second class certificate of competency as a whole working charge of boiler whose rated heating surface is not less than 50 square meters. It is the heating surface of the boiler. Otherwise, produce from the head of the industrial or technical institution a certificate stating that he has completed the 3 years course of training 1 year of which he has been apprentice in a steam power plant of a mill or a factory, and engineering workshop where engines and also the boilers are repaired or made, and also in addition to has served for not less than 1 year as a whole working charges of the boiler for not less than 50 square meters of heating surfaces with the second class boiler attendee certificate. Otherwise, these are the other qualifications you should have to apply for first class boiler. And then the first 2 years experience undi already ఆయనకి సెకండ్ క్లాస్ బాయిలర్ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఉండాలి. లేదు అంటే 3 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉండి ఎక్కడైనా కంపెనీలో పనిచేసి ఉండాలి. దాంతో పాటుగా సెకండ్ క్లాస్ బాయిలర్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కూడా ఉండాలి. Then he worked for not less than 2 years as a fireman or assistant fireman with second class boiler attendant certificate of competency under the charge of first class boiler attendant on a boiler having heating surface for more than 90 square meters. This is the third criteria. Then syllabus of second class boiler, yearly working mechanism, management of the steam boiler and economizer, use and purpose of various valves and hocks. Then precautions to be taken, procedure to be observed before starting of the fire boilers, and use of feed pump and injector, reading of the pressure gauges, and also a periodical cleaning, and also a pure water supply and prevention scale, etc. These are the other topics which are not important. Let us not get into this. Then mode of examination. Examination of certification will be attendance shall be such a nature as the test practical ability and also technical knowledge of the candidates to be in charge of steam generated boiler. So you'll వచ్చేసి practical కూడా వీళ్ళు చెక్ చేస్తారు. Subject of examination వచ్చేసి oral examination to answer the questions pertaining to the boiler practice, and if required by the examiner to demonstrate in the examination room in a workshop his ability to carry out the practical test as well. అనేసి ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉంటుంది, ప్రాక్టికల్ టెస్ట్ కూడా ఉంటుంది. And if you see examination fee for the first class boiler it is 500 and second class boiler it is 300 rupees. Grant of duplicate, if you lost any your certificate you have to pay for 200 rupees to the chief inspector with challan, so that they will give you a new certificate, duplicate certificate, if you lost your original certificate. So this is the form A where you submit your certificate of competency with your full name, father name, nationality, date of birth, place, permanent address, etc. with all the particulars, with your experience, what your class of certificate you have. ఇవన్నీ కూడాను మీరు ఫామ్ ఏలో సబ్మిట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి ఇన్స్పెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ డిప్యూటీ చీఫ్ ఇన్స్పెక్టర్కి, సో దట్ దే విల్ గివ్ యూ యువర్ certificate. And this is the declaration. ఇది వచ్చేసి ఫామ్ బి. ఇది వచ్చేసి మనకి ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ బాయిలర్ అటెండెంట్ సర్టిఫికేట్. సో హియర్ యూ విల్ get your all details, your age, and also when you were registered, on which date, and till from date to expiry date. Your expiry date will be here, and also you will get your photo as well. Form B your certificate, Form A is your application. And Form C is your second class of the boiler certificate. Okay, this is how it looks. They will mention under guaranteed 41 section of boiler rules 2011. They will give the what is the diameter of the firing. Total does not exceed 200 square meters based on the firing surface of the boiler. Okay, that is about this. Because here they won't ask you to write any sections. They will give only the general questions in the sense how what are the qualifications or what is mean by boiler attendant and what are the various certifications or briefly explain about benefits of this boiler act so that you can write in your own language based on our discussions. You can make it 12 to 15 points. You make the brief notes on this two topics, I mean boiler act and these rules, so that you can conclude an answer with the 15 points so that you will get the full score, because most of the times you will get chance to have in the 15 marks question. Okay. We have another 1 minute. If you have any questions, you can put in chat box. I'll share this two presentations to institute. They will give it to you. Thank you. Any questions from others? Okay. Thank you. We have